let's talk a little bit about the real estate market and the condition of the area, because I'm really confused. Less than 3 months ago, I pull up the whatever that thing is online where they'll give you this number of what your house is worth, right?
The Zestimate?
Yeah. And I got no idea how close that thing is to accurate, right? And then 2 weeks ago, I got a realtor knocking on my door saying, I got a client who wants to buy your home. Mm-hmm. And he gives me a price that's about $300,000 more than what I got on the internet. So I've got no idea the value of my home, and I'm wondering, how do either one of them know the value of my home? Talk a little bit about that.
Well, first of all, I would be very careful with the aforementioned plugging in your house address and having somebody contrive a value. The market is super hot right now in many segments, in many areas. I would say that if you're really interested in the value of your home, get a real estate professional to evaluate it for you. Only they can look into the market. Only they have the data available to give you a true and honest representation of where your house might fall in a price range. They're certainly not going to be able to pinpoint it, but give you a real good idea. Now, to your point about somebody knocking on your door saying that somebody wants to buy your home, that is an aggressive agent, which is awesome. And they truly may have somebody that's interested in your neighborhood, and they're just no homes available for it. And we're seeing that quite a bit across many markets in the lake, the lake area.
When you say that it's a hot market, you're talking about a hot selling market, right?
It's a hot seller's market. Yeah, we're seeing. There's a lot of sort of perfect things happening. We have a very limited inventory, and we have a lot of buyers in the market because interest rates have remained so low. Interest rates have only fluctuated a fraction of a percent over the last, probably 6 to 12 months. And as a result of that, many buyers are continuing to seek either maybe an upgrade or maybe a lateral move. And we can't forget the folks that are moving into the lake region for all of the things that we love about it. Folks coming from Pennsylvania and Ohio and New York and Connecticut. So, there's lots of things happening. It's sort of a perfect storm right now.
Zach, I've got a database of buyers as they call on different businesses, and
Sure.
I keep it in the database. Mm-hmm. And about 60% are coming from out of state.
Yeah.
So I could only imagine what that translates into for residential new citizens moving into this area. It's got to be a huge number.
I don't know what the actual number is, but if you pay attention to the news, you'll see things like Wells Fargo buying a certain amount of Bank of America's debt and creating 3,000 new jobs in Charlotte. And the news just happens, if you follow my Facebook page, cool plug for that, you'll see the news is consistent and constant of things happening in our region where there's more and more folks coming into the marketplace. So there's no signs of it slowing down. And what we're really finding is it difficult to keep pace with the demand. Even developers and builders are having a hard time building enough homes and keeping pace to satisfy the amount of folks that want to buy something. So it's super frustrating for buyers right now because when they're in the market to buy something, they have to make snap decisions. There's no let's wait and sleep on it. There is, if we find a house, we have to buy it now.
So it wasn't a con man knocking on my door telling me he had somebody, because that's what it felt like.
Well, and it might feel that way, and you might be right. But look, the bottom line is if there's somebody actually knocking on your door saying that they have a buyer, and are you interested in selling your home, there's a strong possibility that that's the case, and especially if you live in a strong neighborhood.
Right.
Zach, something I've appreciated about you, you've got tons of competition. There's a couple of realtors out there competing against you. But my observation, you haven't been in the area that long, right? Less than a year?
Yep, less than a year.
But you've been in real estate forever.
But I've been in real estate. I'm in my 16th year of real estate. I'm a real estate educator.
Well, that's what I wanted to get at.
Sure.
The thing that impresses me about you is two things. Number one, you like the educational side, which I like, but you also, we've talked about coaching because I'm a coach.
Sure.
And you get coaching. Here you've been in the business for 16 years, but yet you recognize there's more you can learn and there's more you can learn maybe to help educate others. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, thank you for that. And the bottom line is we all must understand about ourselves is that we are not as good as we can be. And we are human beings, and we might not perform at the highest level that we can. And once you realize that, then you could take the opportunity to extend your knowledge, to make yourself better, and take the step and look at getting somebody to help you break through. okay? And that's one of the things I've decided. As long as I've been in business, I've been in real estate in my 16th year now. I've been in sales and sales management for 23 years. And I still can get better. And that's what's important to me, is learning more, getting better at my craft, helping more families, and also helping other people. That's one of the things I put a lot into in my networking.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what I find interesting when I look at your website, I love the 8 steps to buying a home, the 5 steps to selling your home. It is educational for the client as well, and you're walking them through that concept, and I really do like that. Talk about how you decided to set up your website.
Well, it's interesting. Actually, one of the guys in my group, I'll give him a free plug at MS Digital Solutions, Matt Swanson, is a great guy. We sat down and we talked about the things that were important in a website. I've been involved in the business again for almost 16 years and have built a couple of real estate websites, and have found over the years that websites are hugely important, not only to be able to search and find a home, but also from an educational standpoint. Folks want to do a little research before they actually dive in. And again, with the internet and being such a prolific way to shop, people really want to sit and let the ideas wash over them and do their research before they make that initial contact. So
yeah, that's really, really smart. I mean, one of the things I think a lot of people miss in marketing is the educational side.
That's right.
Because there's a definition of marketing, which is help educate them to make the right decision. And so the people that don't try and do that, I think, are missing out, and I think that's great.
Yeah,
I think that's great.
That's correct, and that's sort of one of my philosophies, and one of my value proposition is I need to give you all of the information to make the very best decisions. And I'll help you with that, but it's ultimately your decision, and I give you the information to set that up. So that's what's important about that.
Zach, let's back up a little bit.
Sure.
Let's talk about the market overall. Mm-hmm. Is this I-77 controversy and the managed lanes process, is it affecting values at all? Because as business owners, we find ourselves having that discussion, and we might be talking over each other, and I don't think there is an answer. At least as a business guy, we haven't seen an answer. As a real estate person, is there an answer to that?
I would be cautious to say one way or the next. I would just say the need for housing will always exist, whether or not there's traffic, okay? The fact that there's something being done about I-77 is hugely important. But from a residential real estate perspective around the lake, we're not seeing, I wouldn't say, any impact at this very moment. I haven't heard. And of course, again, you'll have varying opinions.
Sure.
But by and large, if you're going to take sort of a macro view of how the market is responding to the I-77 controversy, I would say that it's pretty flat.
Interesting. Well, and the fact that if it is a seller's market, in fact, values must be holding their own.
Oh, values are increasing daily. Again, it's a pure economic situation. High demand, limited supply, and the trend is going to continue indefinitely.
Let's talk a little bit about the industry of being a real estate agent. I've always seen you guys as independents, having your own businesses, although you are part of a larger organization, most of you. Can you talk a little bit about that? Do you find yourself or see yourself as a small business owner, or do you see yourself as being employed by the large organization that you represent?
I've always seen myself as an independent contractor. My identity with Keller Williams in particular is a branding for me, and of course Keller Williams, I could speak hours on that in the whole corporate culture. But as far as me as a independent contractor, I am a small business owner, and that's sort of one of the things I find huge value in networking with other small business owners in our community. Is that I have a lot of selling things that I've been doing for many years, and I find it really satisfying to be able to help those folks. But yeah, Joe, I am a small business owner. I put my pants on just like every other small business owner every morning and get up and go to work.
And worry about cash flow every single morning.
Worry about cash flow, worry about it. But look, systems and procedures, just get out there and get it done and be positive and do it with a giving spirit. That's the way you do it.
Thanks, man. Give a phone number and website if they want to come make contact with you.
Yeah, great. www.lakenormanrealestateservices.com is the website, and you can dial me direct at 704-960-2901.